Hey guys, so like I said, I'm trying to make more paranormal vlogs again because people were asking for them after I left. And with how long I was gone, I do have a lot of stories. Um, but this particular vlog is going to be about, no matter what I do, there's a glare. This particular video is going to be about my experiences in Georgia. So if you didn't already know, Savannah is considered the most haunted city in the country. I don't know who decided that, but it's pretty well known in the paranormal world. People who ghost hunt a lot and stuff like that pretty much, usually know that. And I think Georgia in general is supposed to be a very haunted state. And so I went on a trip down there, and the first place that we stopped wasn't in Savannah, it was in Atlanta. And we went to what is considered one of the most haunted hotels in Georgia. However, they don't advertise themselves as a haunted hotel. It's just if you go online and you search for like haunted hotels in Georgia, there's a lot about this place. And all sorts of experiences. It was built in the 1920s. I don't know much history about it besides that. I didn't really get a chance to look into it because we were in a rush. But I did have some experiences there, and I also got a very interesting photo. So it's called the Beverly Hills Inn, and also, as I point out in almost every video, I have no idea how to edit, so I'm just gonna have to show you the pictures on my phone. So, this is what it looks like, and it's not showing up very well. So we went in there and we asked a woman who worked there for a tour. There was nobody staying at the hotel at the time, so we got to look at a lot of the rooms. And the first room that she showed us, she said that somewhere on Facebook there's a guy who took a picture in a large mirror in that room, and you can clearly see somebody standing behind him, but there was nobody in the room at the time. So there's been a lot of activity reported there, furniture moving, people feeling things touching them, seeing the curtains move, drafty spots, which is one of the telltale signs that somewhere is haunted, when you're just walking around and all of a sudden there's just this cold draft for no other reason. So I don't have much information about this hotel, but I got a very interesting picture. If I can get the camera to focus and not have a glare. Oh no, I need to learn how to edit so I can show you this properly. Okay, well, in the picture, it looks like, here you can kind of see it, it looks like there is an imprint of two people sitting on the couch. Those spots were not on the couch in person, they only showed up in the picture. And also there's a purple light up at the top that was also not there in real life. It didn't show up until it only shows up in the picture. And when I'm in a haunted place, I can assure you that I pay very close attention to my surroundings. If it can be something else, I know I probably sound like somebody who jumps to conclusions and like it's paranormal, and sometimes I do, but typically I do consider other possibilities because you never really know, and you don't want to be that person who like hears a little scratching noise and oh my god, it's a ghost. So I don't have any more unusual pictures from that hotel. However, as we were leaving, there were 2 people in the entire hotel. One woman was in her office, who checks people in and like gives front, like I don't know what they're called, but she like checks people into the hotel. And then the other woman was somebody who cleans the basement. The woman who cleans the basement was in the basement, which was also very creepy, by the way. My mom and I both felt a very overwhelming presence when we got to the end of the stairs. Like, there was definitely something there, and but I didn't really see any apparitions or anything like that. So anyway, as we were leaving, only 2 people in the hotel, nobody in any of the rooms. We saw a curtain in one of the rooms get pulled to the side, and you couldn't see any hands or a face or anything. It just got moved to the side and then back and then to the side again. So then we went and we stayed on Jekyll Island for a few days. I don't have any stories about that. And then on our way home, we went to Savannah. And first thing is first, I will discuss the Moon River Brewing Company, which is supposed to be the most haunted place in Savannah. Graveyard Girl, we all know who she is, has posted many vlogs about it, or maybe only one, but it was a long one. I don't know. I just know that she's talked about it a lot, and she goes there every time she goes to Savannah. So the last time I went to the Moon River Brewing Company, on the way back from Disney World last year, we weren't allowed in the basement. This time they were allowing people in the basement. And as soon as I started heading down the stairs, I got this overwhelmingly dreadful, horrible feeling, and I did not want to go down there by myself. I actually waited for some other people in the restaurant to go downstairs first, because I didn't want to be down there by myself, because you just felt a presence just looking down there. And the only apparition type thing that I saw was, I remember typing something on my phone, and I looked up and I saw this black sort of shadow figure moving across the room that I was in, which was this room right here. I'm sorry, you can't even see that, can you? Let's see. Okay, and some of the creepier pictures that I got were in the keg room. I don't know if you can really see, but there's kind of a light up here, and it's very, very cloudy and foggy. What's unusual about that is that my camera has never done that before, and it had no reason to do that. There was no fog or anything in the room. I didn't use flash. It was just a very unusual picture. So I also got Is there anyone in this room a video who would like to communicate? I don't know if you could hear, there was like a high-pitched, creepy, like Mickey Mouse sounding voice, and that voice, like I don't remember hearing it in person, and if you could hear it, it started right after I asked if there was somebody else in the room. And hearing something like that, if I heard it in person, I think I would remember it because it was really bizarre. Okay, so I'm going to try to wrap the last part up as fast as I can. We went on a haunted tour of Savannah where you ride in a hearse that's been used for 15 years, I think, and the man driving said that it had delivered over 2,000 bodies in its time. So the first creepy place that I'm going to tell you about, okay, so it's this place, which used to be a mortuary and is now used as an inn, and there have been reports of people hearing scratching on the walls and stomping on the ceilings, and people have reported waking up in the middle of the night to people standing around them as if they're in mourning and the person in bed is in a casket. And that place is still used for viewing sometimes. There were so many stories. I'm only going to tell you the highlights, the ones that I personally thought were especially creepy. So to try to keep this short. So the next place that we went to was here. And it was the site of the Georgia Ripper murders, if you've ever heard of that. I don't think it's really a very popular story, surprisingly, but it happened in the 1880s. It happened a few days after Jack the Ripper committed his last murder, in his or her last murder in Whitechapel, London. So there was a husband and a wife. They had 3 children, and they were going out for the evening. I don't know where they were going. They left the children home with a babysitter and came back to find all 3 of their children brutally murdered. And I believe the babysitter was murdered as well, but I'm not positive about that. And they dubbed him the Georgia Ripper because of how, they never determined who it was. They never determined who Jack the Ripper was, and it happened just a few days after his or her last killing. So they called him the Georgia Ripper, which is quite fitting, and that story was horrifying. Oh, and what was creepy about the house, nobody has lived there for a very long time. There was nobody living there when we went, and on the very top floor the lights were on, but only on the top floor. And my mom says that she saw something moving around in there. I didn't see it, but I trust what my mom says, so maybe there was something in there. Okay, and so the last very creepy thing that I can't wait to share with you, there is I believe it's called Union Square. It's the town square, and it used to be an execution square. And the tour guide said that they say that there's no Spanish moss there because Spanish moss won't grow where innocent blood has been shed. So we drove past it, but this particular time when I got this picture that I'm going to show you, that we were driving past it, he wasn't talking about it. It was just we happened to pass it again on the way back, but I was holding my phone out the window recording. And when I went back to look at the pictures, it was a video and then I screenshot it. You can see this white figure. I wish you could see it better because it's very creepy, and it looks like it's wearing a cloak like an executioner would wear. That's definitely the creepiest footage that we got on that trip. And in the video you can see it moving, and it definitely was not there in person. It only showed up on camera. If we saw something like that in person, we would remember it, and we were looking over there, because at that point he wasn't telling us any more stories. It was just like the end of the tour, and he was taking us back to our initial where he picked us up. So that was a very creepy picture. So if you have any interesting stories about Savannah, Georgia, or anywhere else, please leave your comments down below. I'm very interested, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you're nice and creeped out. Thank you. Goodbye.